Nope. Mm-mm. No way.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! I love Grace so much. I'm so excited for this episode. Yay! Welcome back. Yay!
Okay, that's how we start these, I guess.
Yeah! Yay! Welcome back.
This week we have an actual Disney princess on our show.
It's amazing.
So... Grace is a lovely human. I'm not entirely sure that she's a real human. She might have come out of a Disney movie.
It's possible because her hair is always perfect. Even in hot weather when her crazy curly hair should look terrible, it looks amazing.
That's so true.
It's sorcery.
She's either a sorcerer or a Disney princess.
And even her grumpy moods are the most adorable things you've ever seen. She's like, I'm grumpy.
She's a Disney princess. It's fine.
She is. And it's so great. And now we get to have the story about her prince.
Okay. Her Prince Beeb.
Her Prince Beeb.
Look, puke warning. Have your buckets ready. Because I almost lost it. If you didn't puke during Gigi's episode, you're gonna puke in this one.
Right. Like, and if you did puke during Gigi's episode, like, just turn this off.
You really, yeah. Trigger warning.
I mean, don't.
You can't.
Listen,
you can't with this one.
Listen, but just be warned.
Look, so you're just too cute.
It's just too adorable.
It makes us ill.
Your face.
Oh, wow. What a weird problem.
Welcome.
I'm sure no one said that to you before, but
it's great.
It's
We're
great
really
for the
excited.
show.
It's terrific. I got to face the radio.
False. That's so false.
So false.
Okay.
My gosh. Hi, Grace. Welcome to I Hate Your Love.
Hi.
I hate your love.
Aw, thanks.
She really, really does.
Like, it's not personal, though, right? Because you guys hate all love.
Yeah, no.
Right.
I
and
really
we
do.
We don't really hate anything. We love.
I might.
Well, that's not our brand.
No,
So,
yes.
we do, but.
Great
But
to
your
meet
story
you.
is really adorable, so we're really excited to share it with everybody. I'm the medium level. I'm like medium salsa, as opposed to her like
I'm like, what's the hottest salsa?
like the hellfire salsa.
I'm that one.
Yeah,
I am the ghost pepper of salsas.
Oh, snap.
and I'm more just
Carolina
like
Reaper.
So when I'm over here
queso.
vomiting, it's nothing against you.
Right.
It's
Who would
just
take you
how
vomiting
happy you are.
personally?
who would take that personally?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I have a
She's
bucket.
telling you ahead of time.
That's
It's
so
okay.
good, yeah.
So she's just preparing you because
It's wonderful.
this story.
Yeah.
Man.
Whew.
Man, we like this story. Okay.
Mary likes this story.
I really do.
Get ready for too much sugar, people. It's going to be sick. So, Grace, tell our listeners about you as a person, as a human being.
Right, yeah, okay. So my name is Grace. I'm 24. I work with Hailey and Mary at the same company. We don't work, like, together.
Right.
I live in Minneapolis, and I like to cook and read and write fan fiction. And I have a betta fish named Tally, and I like to ride my bike in the summer and eat yogurt.
Hi, Grace.
Hi.
So much fun.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're going to get into your love story.
Mm-hmm.
But I Hate Your Love is also a game.
Yay, games.
Mary, do you want to explain the game to Grace?
So, Grace, you're going to tell us 2 truths and a lie about yourself that you have pre-prepared for our listeners that might be interested in,
I did.
Right.
in that. So, yeah, and then at the end of the episode, once we've had some time to learn about you,
Mhm.
we're going to decide whether, which one of those was the lie.
Yes.
And if we are right, we get to read the last text message that you sent in your phone.
Aha.
And if you are right, you can pick either me or Hailey and read our last sent text message.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's going to be exciting. The stakes are high.
Yeah.
And
Dun, dun, dun.
Intense right now. Stressing. My hair is frizzing.
yeah, your hair never frizzes
No.
on its own. So
It is frizz.
it's
It is not hair.
It
It is frizz.
It is frizz.
She has great hair.
Love it.
So
Oh, my goodness. So,
find out more about you.
You want to hear them now? My 2 truths and a lie?
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Okay,
do.
are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, number 1.
Hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
Brace it on the table. You're gonna need to, yeah.
Oh boy.
Number 1, I was a French camp counselor for a month. Number 2, I stood on George Washington's head at Mount Rushmore.
Whoa.
And number 3, I can pop a wheelie on my razor scooter.
A razor scooter?
Yeah.
Wow. That doesn't even seem like it would be possible.
See, you would think that, or would you?
I don't know. I don't know about extreme sports.
Yeah.
A razor scooter is extreme sport.
I feel anything with wheels is an extreme sport.
Listen, I can't confirm or deny anything, but nothing.
Wow.
Right. Wow. Okay.
All right. So we have...
Repeat them so that we remember.
You
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear one more
Just
time?
really
One
sink
more
them in.
Okay, one more time. 1, I was a French camp counselor for a month. Number 2, I stood on George Washington's head at Mount Rushmore.
Bold.
And number 3, I can pop a wheelie on my razor scooter.
Okay.
Ooh.
Great.
All right.
We're gonna find out.
We have about half an hour to try and figure you out.
Good luck.
She's very
Flex
calm.
individual.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right. Let's start the gross stuff.
All right. We're gonna start out at the beginning
Okay.
and ask how you and your Beeb met.
Okay, so Beeb and I both attended a college together in southern Minnesota, and we were both English majors, and so we were like orbiting in the same sort of spheres, I guess. So we were aware of each other. Also, I knew Beeb because he had these mustard colored pants.
You can't miss the mustard
Well,
pants
you-
guy.
It's okay, so he was he just, I don't know, he owned 4 pairs of pants, I think, total, and all of them were these really crazy colors, and so before I had even met him, he was just oh, there's mustard pants guy. Yeah.
Okay.
I would really enjoy
Suddenly
that.
I'm invested.
I would be very attracted to that too. I like all the
It's bold.
snappy dresser.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Stood out from the
whatever.
crowd.
I was never mustard pants, let me get in on that, but it was a small college, so
Yeah.
I saw him around and
Yeah.
whatever.
Sure.
Mustard
Yeah.
pants guy.
Okay.
Cool.
All
I
right.
thought when you first said that, I thought it was going to be guy who walked around with a huge mustard stain on his pants
Ooh.
during a class or something.
No.
What if all of the pants are a stain?
Honestly,
Mustard pants guy. What did he do?
he was very well dressed.
Yeah.
He was always just very stylish. So
Oh my
I was
goodness.
Okay.
impressed.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So, English majors.
Yes, we were both
Okay.
English majors.
Cute. So you had classes together then?
Well, no, actually.
What?
He was, that's kind of the weird thing. We didn't have a class together until my junior year, his senior year. He took different classes than I did, and so we had this class on writing a personal essay together. And so he wrote a personal narrative, like we all did. I wrote one about this dollhouse I had as a kid, and he wrote one about roadkill. It was really good. So that was the first, we were in the class together, and I was like, mustard pants, correct? All right, there it is. Roadkill. But he wrote this really cool personal narrative about statistics about roadkill and how he felt about roadkill. I'm not making it sound cool, but it was about life and death and the importance of the United States transit system, highways and stuff.
Deep.
Yeah.
I cannot.
What?
He's a really he was a really good writer, and I was really impressed. So we were in the same class, and so I got his personal narrative in a packet, and I was like, whoa, because they didn't have names on them, and I was just who the hell wrote this? And we revealed it in the group discussion, and I was like, oh, it's Mustard Pants Boy, and I was dating somebody else, so.
Oh.
So it wasn't ooh, roadkill, let me just
Slide into that.
in the DMs or whatever.
Hold on. I want t-shirts. Smooch in the DMs.
So perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you're falling madly in love with some dude with mustard pants who digs dead raccoons.
No.
And
No, she was
No,
just
at home is your poor actual boyfriend who's just
Pre-Beeb.
Pre-Beeb.
Proto-Beeb. Yeah, no, I was dating somebody else at the time. And then, what do you know? Turns out I hear, well, from my friend that he really liked me. And I was, like, kind of not sure what to do about that. So I kind of gave him the runaround. Not proud of that.
Well, as one does, though.
It was a small campus, so I felt like I couldn't, like, I didn't want to be like, I can't date you because I'm dating somebody else. But I could have said that.
Yeah. You could have.
He never formally told me it. It was complicated.
It sounds like
complicated.
It was complicated, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She could have probably just told him that she was dating someone else, but I get the feeling she didn't want to do that because she might have harbored a little secret something for Beeb.
A little secret something. Oh, good grief. I just feel like, maybe it would have been a little bit easier to say, I'm dating somebody.
Yeah, but we know Grace, so we know that, like,
Oh, yeah.
she's hesitant to hurt anybody's feelings.
That's true.
And if she harbored even a little bit of, like, potential, for Beeb, she's gonna not want to be, like, shutting that down hard, so he's like, well, fuck her, I'm going somewhere else,
I have a hard time picturing anybody having that kind of a response to anything Grace says to them.
That's so true.
I feel like Grace could be, like, actually really mean to somebody, and they'd still be like, okay.
Okay, Grace. Let me know if you change your mind. She's that charismatic and just adorable.
She really is.
So
she's like a living Disney character.
She is. She's one of those princesses that float. Like, where are her birds?
Where are her birds?
But that's the first time that she admits that maybe she didn't handle it ideally.
Ooh. So much of just unideal things in life. Life is not actually a Disney movie.
It is not, even for a Disney princess
Grace is
like Grace.
living in Enchanted, for real, where she's a Disney princess and then she gets sucked into the real world.
Ah!
Aw, poor Grace.
You don't deserve to be here suffering with us, Grace. You deserve to be having your princess moments with birds and the singing mice and the,
Truth.
accoutrement.
Oh.
Yeah. The beautiful gowns, the tiaras, the knights in shining armor doing your bidding. Like, that's what Grace deserves.
Truth.
But
Truth.
instead she's got Beeb, who she cannot date because she's currently dating someone else.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I didn't, want to date him at the time, because I liked the boy that I was dating.
Oh, yeah.
I just, respected Beeb
Yes.
for his pants and his artistic style.
Yeah. So you noticed him.
Yeah.
Even though you were with someone else. There's nothing wrong with looking at other menu items.
Yeah. And it wasn't like...
Well, you don't have to... You can look at the other menu items as long as you don't
Sure,
order
yeah,
them.
you can enjoy your Caesar salad when
Yeah,
there's
totally.
a cheeseburger.
I was feeling like I objectively thought that he was an attractive person who was a good writer, but at the time I wasn't thinking.
You weren't thinking romantically.
No.
Yeah.
I would have broken up immediately with my boyfriend if that had been the case.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert, I did break up with my boyfriend though.
Yes, we do want to talk about that too, because
Yeah.
we like to hear the awkward ending stories. Those are fun.
Boy, was it.
I believe it. I'm just super curious. Tell us, how did it end?
Well, okay, so I found out some stuff about the guy that I was dating that I didn't like, and we had this big fight about it, and then we had a second fight about it, and it took 3 hours, but I broke up with him.
Wow.
And it was really searing and very painful. It was one of those bad breakups, and it was just super uncomfortable because he was really good friends with a lot of my friends, and so that happened kind of right after Beeb and I had this super weird encounter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
share.
there was some layering. So I knew that Beeb liked me is the thing, and I felt uncomfortable around him, but I also didn't want to anyway. So gosh, it's so weird. So around the time that I was starting to get really unhappy with my boyfriend, Beeb and I was in the cafeteria kind of place, and I met Beeb there. I was with my friend. She and I were there, and then Beeb showed up, and we were talking, and I had asked my friend to mention that I had a boyfriend. And it was just like...
Okay.
Oh, dear.
And I could be getting the timing of this wrong. Beeb, like, had a freaky memory, so he could probably tell you a little bit more accurately, I hope. That if he ever hears this.
Hey, Beeb.
Like, you got it wrong! Gosh, but, so there was, like, a series of incidents. So I had made it clear to him through my friend that I was seeing somebody else, and that hurt Beeb, that I had done it like that, and not just told him like a grown-up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't a grown-up, to
I
be
wasn't,
fair.
yeah.
No, not really.
But since we were both English majors, we had gone to see a play together, like as a group, and Beeb was sitting next to me on the bus, and we just had like the best time. Like, we talked the whole bus ride down there, and he told me about where he was from and his hometown, and so we had just gotten on really well, and I felt like we had a lot of chemistry, but again, not like
romantic.
No, yeah,
chemistry,
it was just like when you have a good vibe with somebody and you like them and you feel comfortable around them, and we had such good chemistry, and I had such a good time that it freaked me out. So that incident, he after the play, we had this like magical time, and he said, let's get lunch sometime, and I was like, great. And that lunch that we got together, I brought my friend with me and told her to mention
that you have a boyfriend.
That I have a boyfriend. And so that was just probably the not best way that I could have done that. So I hurt Beeb a bit by doing it that way.
Aww.
So subpar behavior.
Poor Beeb.
You didn't know. You were confused.
I was really confused at the time. And then blah, blah, blah. Some dumb shit happens.
Yeah.
Between me and my then boyfriend, and we break up. And I think that Beeb doesn't like me at all anymore because of kind of the way that happened, the way that things had shaken out, and I knew that he was really hurt, and I felt bad and uncomfortable about that, and I was really angry at my ex, so I wasn't ready to date anybody. Anyway, so he graduated. So in order of things that happened, to recap. Go to the play, have lunch, hurt Beeb graduates. A bunch of months pass. In the fall, I break up with my boyfriend. It's January. I'm sad about breakup, but not even. I was just really pissed. Like, I wrote a lot of super angry poems. Look back on them, they are not good. But I was really angry, and so I was just like, nah. And a bunch of weird stuff happened in between them that just kind of, when something is like, kind of feels like it's sort of cosmically aligned because a bunch of stuff leads up to it. Like, I was just in one of those weird places where everything kind of felt really charged and like loaded with meaning all the time. So I was thinking a lot. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, asked me out at a party, and then I was like, I don't want to date you. and even like, well, and it was a really weird feeling to have this guy ask me out because I really liked him as a person. Like, he was just like wonderful, like smart and nice and super respectful, and the way he asked me out was just so nice and not even uncomfortable, and I like flipped out and I was like, what is happening? No. Yeah, no, it was like, why don't I like this person? And
sometimes the things just don't add up, and you just don't,
but like,
have
what
that
the heck?
feeling.
I wish you could force yourself to like somebody sometimes.
Me too. Wouldn't that make it so much easier? Or like, conversely, be able to stop yourself from liking somebody?
Yeah.
That would be great.
I can definitely do that.
She can not like anybody.
I can stop myself from liking anybody. Real easy.
Like even if like they've got your heart pounding and like being around them just makes you feel like so happy, like you just want to shout from the rafters or jump on Oprah's couch and be like, I love this guy or woman or that person.
First of all, nobody makes me feel that way.
Okay, all right, well, that's fair.
And second of all, even if I did, no.
Love is definitely dangerous.
I can choose.
It's not something that you're willing to just like, you can't just embark on it lightly. Even if you're right, because even if you do have feelings for someone, The really dangerous thing is letting those feelings grow by
True.
getting to know the person and like becoming closer with that person, and like that's where you can really get in trouble.
True.
The feelings themselves, you can deal with those.
Yeah.
People get
It's fine.
crushes, like married people. They get crushes on other people all the time.
True. They do.
And I mean, I did when I was married too. I had got crushes on coworkers or whatever, but it's shut up. But you just ignore them. It's natural. It's not monogamy isn't natural. So
According to
Many
science and whatnot,
people.
apparently not. It's whatever.
it's a choice. And when you're making that choice, you can't help but sometimes feel attracted to other people.
I guess.
I mean, okay, well, if you are like me, you can't.
I'm not like you. I think
You're not.
we're pretty
That's
well
true.
established.
I feel like in this aspect, more people are like me than you, in that you notice people that are attractive, or you like someone who makes you laugh maybe a little too much. Like, nothing that would make you, cheat on your spouse or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying.
That's.
But just catch your eye.
I notice when people are attractive, but beyond that, it's just like, you're another
I mean,
person.
even that
And
is just like...
being that you're another person, that's just annoying. So I'm going to appreciate that you're attractive and then move on and not engage with you in any way whatsoever.
Okay, well, that's one strategy.
So, it's winter, it's weird, and my friend asks me out, and I say no, and I feel uncomfortable, and then it works out, I'm going home for Christmas to see, I think it's Christmas. I go home to Florida to my mom.
Wow.
And while I'm there, I send a text to a friend of mine who I knew from high school, and I say, like, hey, let's, what are you doing? What are you in town? And he meets me for a bar, he meets
For
me
a bar.
He meets me.
Wow.
He meets me at a bar, and we have a conversation, and I'm like, well, like, do I like this person? Like, is this something that I feel? And I come away like, nope.
Still not.
Terrific person, just not for me. And so I walk out of that bar, and I'm feeling like sad about my ex, but mostly angry about my ex, and like ready to be done with that feeling. Like, I'd written my 3 poems, and they were bad. So I know at that moment that Beeb had come down to my college when I was gone to see my friend Kelsey, and Kelsey is a really important person in the development of mine and Beeb's relationship, because she tells Beeb that I still think that he's a cool person, and she tells me that he still likes me, and I'm like, why? Like,
Wait,
whoa!
mind blown.
It was one of those like really effective kind of middle school things where it's like she said.
Yeah.
And people can talk smack about that method of getting information, but like, it is what it is.
And it did work.
It
It's
worked.
tried and
Yeah.
true.
It worked for me and Beeb. It did.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So you found out he liked you, and then what?
I texted him.
Oh,
Yeah.
modern woman.
So I did. I'm a real go-getter. So I get back to college, and I'm sitting at my kitchen table with Kelsey. She tells me Beeb still likes me, and I'm like, all right. So I text him immediately. I don't even wait 2 seconds. I'm like, hey, the next time you come down to my college, our college, where we went. I'm being really opaque about this. I went to Carlton.
I'm like,
really? Why am I making a secret of this? It's so-
Such a secret.
Yeah.
I was really hoping those were the exact words you used next time you come down to my college. Our college, where we went.
And he was like, great, let's get married. Beautiful. No.
No.
Quickly.
I would hope not.
Oh my goodness.
That would be a little
So
fast.
I say, next time you come to Carlton, let's get Perkins. Because that's
Cute.
what he did with my friend Kelsey. And I was like, wish I could have been there for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he says, like, yes. And he comes down to visit me the next weekend. He comes down to visit me. It was crazy because it's about, like, it was like an hour from where he lived to Carlton. And so he just drove down that weekend. And
Immediate response.
yeah.
Immediate execution. Of
I
the...
learned after the fact that because he had feelings for me for such a long time and had never told me about it formally. For the record, in my defense, he never explicitly told me he liked me. I just knew it.
Yeah.
And then, so he told me that he got the text message and he was like lying on his bed and he threw his phone across the room. He was so excited.
Okay. All right. This is the point where I'm getting sick.
I loved that. I was so into that. I thought it was so adorable.
No.
He was so excited. He threw his phone across the room.
Look.
Cute.
He could have cracked his screen.
He could have.
That's expensive.
Yeah, but have you seen Grace?
I did. Yeah, she was sitting across from us. So
that's exciting shit. When Grace I'm into you. Like, what? It's worth a cracked phone screen. It's worth the insanity.
I mean, I guess.
I think I'm just really biased because I like her a lot as a person.
I like her a lot as a person, too.
I know you do. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying, like, of course he threw his phone across the room. Grace messaged him.
This is all just so gross.
I mean, yeah, this is one of the sappiest, grossest ones we've... Except for Gigi and her fake flowers in a plastic cup. Shout out to that episode.
Yeah, man. I mean, Gigi's was rough, too. But I feel like this one is just, like, way too much.
Saccharin. Yes. Very sugary, sweet honey in nature.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Cute, though. So cute. Young love.
Ugh.
Oh, how adorable.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so he was like, yeah, I'm coming down.
He did, right away. He came down. And
so this is your first date,
This is our first date, technically, yeah. Even though still neither of us have explicitly told the other one that we like the other one. It's just known by everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
You knew that he knew that
It's
Kelsey said that you said.
That I wanted to go to Perkins.
Yeah, I mean, Perkins is a euphemism for all things romantic.
That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Yeah. I thought it was cookies.
No.
It's not.
No, that's the 2018 version.
Oh, right.
This is the however many years ago version. It was Perkins. All right.
So for our first date, he came to my door and picked me up, and we were just like, let's walk around or whatever. And he mentioned that he kind of wanted to go back to the English department building and just see it because he was back in town. So we walked to the English building, and we go up to the top floor of the English building, and we're just like looking at the books, and we're just talking and catching up. And like, there's this super huge elephant in the room because I don't want to talk about like, hey, remember that time I kind of stomped on your heart a little bit? Woo! And
that wasn't just like great first date
not
talk.
Saying anything. Yeah, so we're just catching up, and then I think I maybe like apologized generically. Like I think I was like, thank you so much for coming down here. It's so great to see you again. I'm really sorry.
About like before.
Well, that thing I did that one time.
But we didn't have like a heart to heart about it in English building. He said something nice, and I said, "You want to get out of here?" Because I heard that in a movie once. And it worked. He was like, "Yes, I do." He said it immediately. I remember that so distinctly. I was like, "You want to get out of here?" And he was like, "Yes."
Phoebe is a very decisive person.
Phoebe is so decisive. Phoebe is like...
He knows what he wants.
Yeah, he knows what he wants. He'll just not tell you that he's been in love with you for a year now.
Cool, sure,
yeah. That's not what he wants to do.
But he had decided.
He had decided not to do that.
Yeah.
And so we go to my car, and we drive, and Perkins is closed. There's no Perkins. We go to... Upsetting.
What kind of crap Perkins do you have? Perkins is 24 hours.
You would think that in America.
Not in Northfield.
No, in Northfield is a godless country.
Everyone is in bed at 8
We
p.m.
go to Culver's instead, which I also like. And
Sure.
he tells me about the time he was in a coma for 2 weeks. And so we get milkshakes, and he tells me about this like super vivid dream he had about like a dragon. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love with you.
Okay, hold up. All you have to do to get Grace to fall in love with you is mention dragons. Dragons! What is that from?
I have no idea. I thought for sure you were just making that up and saying the word real loud and crazy.
No, shoot, what is it? Where somebody just runs in screaming, dragon!
Are you thinking of Troll?
No, that's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Troll! There's a troll in the dungeon! Thought you ought to know.
Fate. Thank you, Ron Weasley.
That wasn't Ron. It was Quirrell.
Oh, yeah, duh.
What the fuck?
God damn.
But what it... Dragon!
Is
I
it
don't
like
know.
Game of Thrones?
No. Maybe it's How to Train Your Dragon? I mean,
okay,
no,
it doesn't matter.
They yell dragon in that a lot. It doesn't matter, but apparently that's all you need to make Grace fall in love with you. It's just dragons.
Well, to be fair, that's pretty epic.
Dragons are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like dragons.
And Grace was already halfway in love with you at this point. Like, let's be honest.
That's true. Dragons! Fuck, what is it from?
Dragons breathe fire.
Dragon.
Dragons will get you burnt. Just like love.
Ooh.
So you're in the car, and you don't
Well,
actually
we get back
tell
in the
her.
car because we get done with the Culvers. And
Sure.
So, and we're like, I was like, we should go to Menards because I need to get some. I need to get a new pot for my plant. I'm stalling, is what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
you're like, please, I don't want to go back yet.
I didn't want it to end. I was having such a great time. And I was so relieved that he didn't hate me. And
I can't.
Well, because part of me was like, what if he's just coming down here to yell at me or something?
Oh,
Like,
To
yeah.
yell at you.
Well, I don't know. Knowing Beeb, like, now, like, I can't, that would never be a thing that he would do.
But maybe he was just coming down to,
I was
like,
just,
toy with your
fresh
heart
off
a
this,
little,
like, yeah.
and to, like, get you back or
I
something.
was just fresh off this, like, angry kind of, like, men are trash.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Turns out. Newsflash, everyone.
Fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
True news. Ish.
Yeah. So we go to Menards, and the Menards is closed. And then I spend 2 minutes railing against the world for having Menards be closed. Like,
After
10
Perkins.
PM.
Like, that just
like
seems
honestly,
unfair.
it was just like, kick me when I'm down, you know? No, just kidding. I was like on Cloud 9. And so we were just sitting in my car listening to Sufjan Stevens first, because that's an album that Carrie and Lowell by Sufjan Stevens came out that year, and that's like one of my all-time favorite albums, and he really liked it too, and I was like, what the heck? Imagine that! You also like this tremendously popular album? What are the odds?
It was love.
And then,
Oh my gosh.
And then he played me the Beach Boys, and I had heard like Surfing USA and stuff, but he played me some stuff off of Pet Sounds. And it was just like so cute.
So adorable.
Well, because we had been sitting outside. Wait, no.
In January.
Yeah, it was bold. It was a bold play. I was fueled by custard. We got out of the car and sat on this picnic table, and we were looking at the snow falling and the big lights over the empty parking lot.
I can't. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's just so. Love it. Oh my gosh. I'm the medium salsa.
You're like freaking sour cream at this point. Rein it in.
Dude, it's so cute though. I can't. They're watching the snowfall in the Menards parking lot.
It's a galaxy-spanning romance.
So
Menards
adorable.
parking lot.
Perkins.
Custard.
It's very southern Minnesota.
It is,
I
but
mean-
it's really great. So
Okay.
We had a good time.
you had a good time on that date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Did it end with?
well, okay. So,
We're only halfway through here.
yeah.
There's more sick
There's
coming.
a little more. I'll try not to ramble on. She lied. So we were sitting on this picnic table looking at the snow, and I want to kiss him. And I want to tell him, what's up, I like you. But we don't. We just talk. And we get back in my car, and we drive back to Carlton, and we go back into my house, and we sit on my couch, and we're sitting together, and our knees are touching, and it's so cute.
Electric.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And we're just, like, talking, kind of, like, murmuring, you know, it's
Murmuring.
romantic. There's, like, you know, lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ambiance
Yeah.
has been achieved.
And I tell him that I still like him. And he says that he still likes me, too. And we kissed.
Yeah.
And it was not as romantic as it could have been if we had kissed on the picnic table in Menards, which is not a sentence that I would have thought would be. Like, all things considered.
Considered that like it would be better in your house than your couch
The
indoors.
dinner
but-
table in front of Menards would have been way more romantic.
Well, it's like ever after that moment, it's just like Menards make me feel kind of nostalgic, like
Aw.
kind of romantic.
That is just such.
It's just a very positive association.
It's so great. I love it. Hailey's face is just...
I don't know if I'm more disgusted with the story or, like, how, like, custard you're being about
I'm
it
sorry,
right now.
I just can't help it. It's so...
You're not even salsa. You're nowhere near salsa.
Yeah, you're kind of like
I
cottage
just-
cheese
I know.
right now. You're cottage cheesing.
Cottage cheese.
I'm sorry, I need to get more of the hate than the love. I'm working on
It's a
my...
good balance.
Yeah, you're being really much more negative than you sometimes are. And so I might be being a little more positive than I sometimes am.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Gotta have a balance. If you're gonna be that disgusted, I have to be super over the top. Aw. But it is. You guys, come on. Tweet us. Tell us. This is just, you should tweet right now and be like, Mary's right. This is just adorable.
No.
Maybe there's a compromise.
There you go
Grace is
again.
like, can I get back to my story?
Can you please tell?
This is good too.
It's not.
Conflict.
It's not. It's not actually good at all. So, you go ahead. So, you finish your first date, you're kissed, he's gone home. Now what happens next?
But you didn't go home.
Whoa.
Oh,
Plot
plot twist.
Yeah, well, okay, because it was like 1 a.m. at this point.
Oh, okay.
Or something. It was
Jeez
late.
Louise.
Yeah, we were up late. We were rascals. So we hang out. He sleeps on my couch. Okay. TBH. All right. I want to be cool, but I'm going to level with you. He slept on my couch.
On the record.
Yeah, I don't think Babe slept at all that night.
Oh.
He just, like, was vibrating on my couch. And so we spent the next, like, 48 hours just, like, together. Just, like, being just, like, intensely... You can't see my hands, but I'm doing kind of, like, a waving them in front of each other thing.
Claws.
Yeah, like, we're just, like, we're really together. And then we started dating, pretty much. Yeah, so he had a poetry reading at a bookstore in Northfield another time, and so he came down, and he was finishing up some poems, and he did a poetry reading, and he read a bunch of poems that were about me.
Oh! Were you there?
I was there.
Oh my gosh!
And he wrote these really, really beautiful poems, and they're really, like, even after the fact, I think that they're very, very good. I think they're very good poems. And so he read them to, like, this bookstore full of people, and he read them, like, right to me. We were making eye contact the whole time.
Oh my
gosh. This is the most cheesiest thing.
I'm
Is this
sorry, but
is this
it
the cheesiest thing he ever has done?
No.
What?
That might be it. I don't know.
This has to be love, because if anyone did that to me, I would run screaming and possibly, like, get a restraining order.
That's because you're salsa.
It's just, she is like lightly with
He
butter.
stared you in the eyes while reading poetry about you in public.
That sounds so creepy.
No, because it is.
No, it was nice. It was really nice. And it was kind of funny because my friend Sarah was there, and after the poetry reading, she came over to me and she was like, "So he's like in love with you, right?" And I was like, "I don't say nothing."
I mean, yeah, clearly.
Yeah, but it was really nice, and so we were just kind of like, he would come down and I would come up, and to where he was living, and so we just were sort of dating, and it was like 2 weeks after we like had our first date, basically. We were sitting in his room, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm in love with you." I told him. And
what? 2 weeks after you started dating?
It was crazy. And, like, I cannot overstate how, like, not me that had been up until that point. Like, I was very, like, I was like a little robot in my previous relationships, kind of. Like, it was very much, like, not really, like, super heart involved, much more, like, head over
just
feelings.
not very invested.
Yeah, so it was totally,
emotionally.
like, it was totally one of those, like, crazy head over heels type of things that you read about in books and, like, you want to throw up a little bit. But when it's happening to you, it's, like, the best thing ever. It's like you just feel so happy all the time.
Yeah.
I was just so happy.
That's wonderful.
Haley
just can't even deal. It's very much love.
Ew.
Yeah, no, there's quite a few very romantic things going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a real whirlwind.
Very heady.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
So then we were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
And our anniversary is Valentine's Day.
Aww.
Okay. All right.
This has to be the most romantically cheesed.
You guys,
like,
I
is this a
cannot.
movie? Are you telling us a movie plot?
Well, it was convenient that it was Valentine's Day, though, because then, like, it's easy to remember.
It is, and also, what, do you just get, like, one super gift? I can just imagine that you enjoy exchanging gifts, since you're so in love.
I mean, it was pretty, we were, like, pretty sick of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the best gift he's ever given you then? Since
windshield wipers for my car.
Okay.
Wait, did he put them on too?
We tried to. So it was my birthday, and he thought that I was going to drive my car up to my grandparents' cabin and my friend drove me instead. So he just gave them to me. And he had been threatening to give me, he'd been threatening me with windshield wipers for a long time. Because I refused to get them changed, because windshield wipers are way more expensive than you think that they're going to be. And I got really salty about it. Also, you have to install them.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It's a big pain.
Windshield wipers.
Wow.
Windshield wipers.
Okay. We don't normally do this, but I just have to address your written interview here. Because you did, in fact, say that you said, windshield wipers for sure, in response to this question.
Yeah.
However, it then follows with, also just him dating me in general, parentheses, I'm sorry, please don't yell at me, close parentheses. Grace.
This was a gift.
Cannot. Also, just him dating me in general is the best gift.
It's nice.
It is very nice, it sounds like. I agree with you. I mean, I think that's a little cheesy, Grace.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
we've established.
You are like, what's the most cheese of the cheese? What is the most cheese of all the cheese in the world?
I mean, it has to be that answer, right? Like,
I cannot.
When I read that, Grace was one of the first people to volunteer to come on our show.
She was.
And she was the first interview that I had ever read. And I read that answer, quote unquote. And I was like, this show is going to be so great.
Because it's so disgusting.
It's so bad. Like, when you're in it, it feels like so sweet and so amazingly
for you.
Like, yeah, but I mean for Grace too, obviously.
Well, sure.
When you're really in the theros of like that first, I've had that a few times where it's just like you feel like it's just so amazing and so wonderful, and then you sit back and realize like you disgust me past me.
Yeah. This is so. What is that? What's that cheese that they put in desserts? It's like sweet cheese or something. That's what Grace is.
Mascarpone?
Yes.
She's mascarpone.
Grace is mascarpone cheese.
Shout out Chopped Jr. for me knowing mascarpone. I've been recently watching that show. Highly recommend. Really crazy. They make kids do the same thing adults do in Chopped. It's so awesome. But anyway.
Sounds like a worse version of MasterChef Jr. But anyway.
Grace is the mascarpone of all cheeses. And so I think that bubble still exists. Like, for her. But a lot of people lose that. But from the outside, it looks disgusting. And I was just like, this is going to be so great.
Maybe she gets to keep the bubble because she's a Disney princess. And she just,
maybe.
She's special.
She's going to be so overwhelmed by our descriptions of her if she listens to this episode. She's like, you guys!
Hi, Grace in the
I'm
future.
just a person! Oh my god! I couldn't even believe it!
Princess Grace!
It's so a thing. Anyway.
Find her doll in Target in the Disney aisle.
Just dating you in general. But aren't you a gift to him, too?
I like to think that I add to his life.
Yeah. You think you balance each other out
yes.
in a good way?
Yes.
You keep him from eating more than just, rice and beans?
His diet is an abomination. Honestly. The boy.
Wow.
So what was the first lie that you ever told Beeb?
Okay, so the first lie I ever told him was we were sitting in the car listening to the Beach Boys on our first date, and I know some of the words to Wouldn't It Be Nice. Specifically, Wouldn't It Be Nice? So it's like, wouldn't it be nice if we were older? So long. Together. Yeah. I didn't really know them all the way, but he knew them all the way, and I wanted to impress him, so I kind of mumbled through it.
So you started your relationship off on lies.
Honestly, I think that's what you should take away from this.
That you can lie and get away
That's
with
the part I'm going to cling to.
I hope, yeah.
This entire thing is based on a lie.
Or smash
Does
the
he
heart
know
open.
now that you don't actually know the lyrics?
No, and don't tell him.
I'm emailing him this recording.
Dang it, Hailey!
FYI.
P.S.
Information obtained.
Grace is a goddamn liar.
Okay, so conversely then, what is the first lie that he told you?
Probably the first lie that he told me was not telling me that he liked me. for a year and a half before we actually started dating.
A lie of omission.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big lie, though.
I guess.
It's like,
he didn't, owe me that truth or anything, but I sort of wish he had said something, before I started dating a guy else who was not him.
Yeah, that would have been a good time to mention it. That would have been a great
time to...
Yeah, be like, hey, by the way, you're great and I like you.
But it was probably the right thing to do because I was happy.
Okay. I want to know a little bit more about how you realized you loved him in the grocery store, because I feel like only you can fall in love in, like, the freezer section. That's where I keep my heart. And you're just like, oh.
Well, okay. So, when you go to the grocery store,
Yes.
As you do. I just like that we would be walking around and just, like, doing nothing. Like, I'm, like, it's a small town, we're kind of bored, so we go to the grocery store and just have the most fun just derping around in a grocery store and, like, looking at different things, talking about different vegetables that we like, and, like, talking about foods that we like, and just having so much fun in a Cub Foods in rural Minnesota. And, like, to be able to just be like, I don't want to be anywhere else but here in this freezer section with Beeb.
Aww.
Just be like, yeah,
oh my gosh,
for a long time.
I can't. You gotta count how many times I've said aww. It's like 80.
We'll have a counter at the end of the episode.
85 times.
Because just stick around till the end.
Plus, he's really fun in grocery stores. Like, if you knew Beeb, you'd know. Like, he's fun in grocery stores.
It's just one of his many talents.
Like,
apparently.
he finds funny stuff everywhere. He can make me laugh about anything, pretty much.
That is a very good quality.
Yeah. So you should go to the grocery store with Beeb. Sometime.
Excuse me, Grace's Beeb. I need you to take me to the grocery store.
Yeah, just,
and just tell me about your favorite vegetables.
Can they pass the Cub Foods test?
I mean, Cub Foods is pretty fun if you have the right person with you.
I believe this.
Oh my gosh.
I believe it's true. You're right. I had a flashback to going to the grocery store on a date in high school, too. And you know what? It was fun.
It's just a thing?
Yeah.
You try weird snacks and you eat them in the car.
We went up and down every aisle, just, like, looking at everything and, like,
talking.
Talking about, like, oh my gosh, look at how expensive this, cheese is or whatever, It's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It's a good place to go on a date.
Especially when you don't have any choices.
Mm-hmm. And you can see how they treat people who work service jobs, too, which is a good thing to find out about somebody.
Sure.
Very important.
I feel like you get that maybe more at a restaurant, but Perkins was close, so what are you going to do?
Perkins was close, as we established. Culver's isn't a restaurant as much as an experience.
Ooh, it's an experience with custard.
It's transcendent, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, this is enough cute shit. I can't handle it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know, like, how terrible he is and what you fight about.
Boy, howdy. Okay. So of late, the most recent fight that we had was, I'm a really big Star Wars fan. Like, I'm a really, 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 really big Star Wars fan.
Okay, so he, like, hates Princess Leia.
No. He personally killed Princess Leia.
No! I will fight his face.
She writes the fan fiction.
I do,
yeah.
She's
a big fan.
I suppose you probably would have fought his face if that was the truth.
Honestly, yeah, he would not be alive. No, so it was The Last Jedi came out recently, and I got tickets to see the new movie, like, the day the tickets came out. And so I got tickets at this movie theater, Southdale, where you could reserve the seats, and the seats reclined, and I was so excited. I got 8 of them. I was going to take all my friends.
Whoa.
And so it's like a very, like, fancy kind of movie experience. But the tickets were not bad, for the record. Side note. But, so I'm like, Beeb, I got these ticks. I'm so excited. I'm not going to say ticks. Tickets. I'm so excited. And he's like, that's great, hon. I'm going to go see Star Wars at the movie theater in his hometown, which is not as big or as having reclining chairs as the theater that I picked out. So I'm like, excuse me? What are you even thinking right now? Beeb, I got these tickets. That's honestly kind of what it sounded like.
That's what you felt like.
I was trying to be respectful because he loves Star Wars too, and so I respected that he wanted to see it in this particular theater that he has a lot of attachment to.
Sure.
But I was like inside, like, I'm going to die. I can't believe this is happening to me. Yeah. So we had a lot of, like, sort of terse exchanges about that, where I was like, I don't understand why you want to see it there, but okay. And I'm not going to stop you.
I'm not going to stop you.
With a period in between every single word.
Yeah.
A telegram.
So angry.
Yeah.
The anger took the words there.
Oh
anyway,
my
so
Yeah.
resolved, and we did see it together. He just kind of yielded.
So he came around to your way
I
of
was
seeing
never
things.
like, don't do that. I was just like, oh, bummer.
Shoot.
Oh, shoot. He is very
Okay.
he's very strong-willed though, so I knew that if it was really like if he had really, really, really wanted to do that more than he wanted to see it at this one, he would have. That's something I like respect about him, is that he's very like stick to his guns and he's like self-assured about stuff like that. But I was distraught.
Ew. I feel like we've gotten kind of to the end here.
I think so, because
Unless there's anything else you really,
was there
really
really
wanna...
good anything that you really wanted to say about your relationship?
I just think that it's really nice to be with somebody who gives you the benefit of the doubt all the time and just always assumes best intent.
That is nice.
And it is a very secure feeling to think like, hey, this person loves me a lot, and even if I mess up, they're still gonna assume that I had good intentions and be very forgiving and understanding. And I never had that quite to that level, to just feel so like totally safe with somebody. And I told him that I write Star Wars fan fiction on the first date, and that I talk about it a lot now. Like,
Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where I'm like, that's not a secret anymore.
He's giving you boldness.
Yeah, I feel like he knows the things about me, and still likes me.
Good grief.
Jeez.
Well, I'm disgusted. I'm thoroughly disgusted.
I just love it. So I don't hate your love.
Aw.
I dig it. It's wonderful.
Wow, way to
But
go against our
I
brand.
know. I'm not,
Well, what's this podcast called again?
I just can't help it. That was a really wonderful story. But, everyone is moved by certain... I don't know why, but your story's just too cute. Anyway.
Maybe because you know me, and I'm like a ridiculous person.
Yeah, that's what I know about you. That
Yeah.
You're full of bombast.
Yeah,
Wow.
pomp and ceremony,
And he still
Oh my gosh.
likes you.
and he still likes me.
That's great.
Ridiculous.
Well, feeling accepted is a really good thing to have a
I think
relationship
so
and
too,
secure.
Yeah.
Well, we probably don't need to actually answer this question, but it's part of the show, so you're going to have to anyway.
Do go on.
Do you believe that Beeb really loves you and vice versa?
Yes.
Ew.
Yes.
I'm again going to read directly off of your work, your interview here. So for those of us who don't already support us on Patreon, you're getting this for free. Normally the Patreon people are the only ones that get this. You wrote, I definitely believe we both love each other like a lot. Like so much.
Yeah.
And puke. So
Like that last part.
no, that was my own commentary.
The puke with
I
Hailey's.
can't handle it.
Yeah.
So now we have to just break down the wall and tell people that you aren't together anymore.
No, we are.
Dang it.
It's like 2-year anniversary on Valentine's Day.
Ew.
So different reactions.
I'm saving that soundbite.
That's a good one.
Oh my gosh. 2 years.
2
2 years.
2 years of this just sugar. So
I'm
much
so
sugar.
crazy about him.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Even
Okay.
though he, wanted to see Star Wars at the wrong movie theater.
He should be punished eternally for that.
Honestly,
At least he came around to your line of thinking.
Never
in the
forgive
end.
him.
I mean, the fact that he put you through that is just
and
ridiculous.
it's like
Everyone
really
knows.
selfish. I had like a really hard time
Reclining chairs. I mean,
crying at work.
she was visibly upset about it at one point at work, though.
Yeah.
Not like crying, but like you were a little heated about
I
it.
think that I sometimes will overheat about issues.
No way.
I get strong feelings about things.
And Beeb handles those so well.
Beeb is he's like the chillest homie. He's just
Wow.
like a chill boy.
Yeah.
Which, someone like me, I kind of need that. Like, if for every, game of, when you don't know how to play tennis, and you have, a ball and a racket, and you hit it against a wall a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, he's the wall, and I'm the tennis ball, and the racket, and the not knowing how to play tennis. 'Cause I
You're
can't.
the person and the ball and the racket?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's the wall.
He's the wall.
He's a steady constant.
Everybody needs a steady constant. Everybody needs somebody who they can bump up against and not have them like you less for being weird. Unless you're, really weird.
Well, even then, just find someone who's weirder than you.
Yeah.
There's always someone out there. Just use the internet.
Advice: just always be the slightly less weird person in a relationship. Just kidding. I am by far the weirder one.
The best.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All right. Well.
So
now it's time we have to decide.
All right. Grace, please go over your two truths and a lie one more time for us.
Okay. I was a French camp counselor for a month. I stood on George Washington's head at Mount Rushmore, and I can pop a wheelie on my razor scooter.
I think that a wheelie on the razor scooter isn't possible.
I kind of agree. I feel like that would be really hard.
But
Because it's such a small wheel, and like the part you stand on is so long. And I don't, well, but maybe.
But
it's
also, I think
possible.
George Washington's head might be a lie because I've been to Mount Rushmore and I do not remember being invited to climb it.
Oh, okay. See, I've not been to Mount Rushmore,
But
so I can't weigh in
To
here.
be fair, I would have zero interest in climbing it. So if they did mention that, I would have immediately disregarded that as a possibility for my own personal self. But for some reason, I think you were in fact a counselor at a French camp. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I feel like
true.
that one is believable.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
you just look like the kind of probably.
I can't confirm or deny.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the scooter. It seems like such a specific thing to be a lie, though.
Okay.
Wait. Well, either that or the head. What do you think?
I'm gonna defer to you on this one.
I could just tell you the answer.
No,
That's
wait,
cheating.
We can't. I'm gonna go with George Washington's head. That's got to be the lie. Gotta be.
Final answer?
No, the scooter. No.
I need you to make a decision,
Okay,
Mary.
the scooter. I do not think that you can do a wheelie on a razor scooter, so I'm gonna go with that's the lie.
Final answer.
Final answer.
You can do a wheelie on a razor scooter.
But can you?
I can.
Shoot.
It doesn't last very long, I'll grant you that. But you can do it, and I can do it.
Okay. All right. So what's the lie then?
I'm not a counselor at a French camp.
What?
Yeah, plot twist. Everything about me seems like I should have been. And I don't blame you for believing that. And it did go on George Washington's head. This was like in 1999, before everybody got, before
Before
the big
rules,
thing.
before
Basically,
there were rules, and
yeah.
we knew the head ranger guy.
Sure.
So we got a tour. I don't remember it. I should call my mom. But we were definitely on there, and there are photos of me, and I scared the heck out of my parents because I was not scared of heights.
Oh my gosh.
I see.
I'm not scared of anything.
I would die.
Okay. Well,
we lose.
So whose text messages do you want to delve into? You can me or Hailey.
This is a really tough one.
I believe you. Pick someone.
Mary.
Okay, I texted my brother. Super exciting. Ha! I'll never drive anywhere but the suburbs. That was the last text that I sent.
It feels like the caption to like a political cartoon. Like a burning building. I'll never drive anywhere but the suburbs.
Yes. We were discussing, we're going out to eat.
Sure.
Tomorrow night, my father's in town, and we're going to Manny's downtown, and
Where the heck are you gonna park?
I am not going to drive.
Because
I don't drive anywhere but the suburbs.
You're everywhere.
I'm going to go with my daddy.
Aww.
She's a terrifying driver. I
am.
fear for my life every single time. And also, I really just don't know if the state of Minnesota should have given you a driver's license.
Well, I passed the test.
Wow. Well, this was just great.
This was great. Thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
It was so
Thanks for making me ill.
Yeah.
Grace.
Every day, any day.
Any day. You can tell that talking about Beeb.
Wherever. Shakira.
Yep.
Taylor.
Yep. Got it. I picked it up. I picked what you're throwing down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't worry.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
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 If you enjoyed this episode of I Hate Your Love, please rate and review us on iTunes. That really helps us spread the hate.
Love.
Love. Also, make sure to subscribe so that you never miss a new episode.
And nowadays, if you're not posting on social media, it didn't really happen. So check us out for more content on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @HateYourLovePod.
If you love the show and you want to support us and get more exclusive bonus content, consider backing our show on Patreon. We would really super appreciate it, like a lot, like a whole lot.
If you'd like to have the opportunity to have the distinct pleasure of sharing your love story with us and having us rip it apart like a piping hot pizza, email us at hateyourlovepod@gmail.com or click the pinned link on our Twitter.
And most importantly, remember, hate might be in our name, but it's not our brand. Please be a nice freaking human or consider moving to the sun.
Okay, thanks. Bye!